lui assolutamente. Perché non ci ho pensato prima? Se l'ho previsto... Se l'ho previsto... I'm sorry.
Exclusive.
Yo, la musica va ancora bene? Announcement! Oh my... ok. Escape... No. Oh. Ok. Oh baby. Ok, non è orribile, ma è più o meno del calibro che mi aspettavo. E questi sono quelli che piacciono alla gente, no? Bene, chat. I hope you're happy. se allora era musica del gioco quella che sentivamo? Quindi magari silenziano lo stream. Chi è gasato per questo, sinceramente? Voglio sapere se qualcuno di voi è super felice per questo.
There's the big news. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is coming back for a
Geoff è invecchiato. Holy shit.
Hey everyone, it's Jeff Keighley and this is an exciting Summer Game Fest announcement of that news.
Non io, sono felice per altri, Naskip. No, big. Se ci sono le battaglie a turni forse.
Tony Hawk and Jen from Vicarious Visions, who did the incredible Crash Bandicoot remaster.
Oh, è questo che stavano facendo.
Pro Skater back, which is a much requested thing to have happen. Tony, this is exciting. I know it's been like I think 4 or 5 years.
Fucking Tony Hawk.
You guys did a game. You know, this is what everyone I think wanted, right? Was like rolling back the clock to the originals and
Voilà, celebrità sul palco.
How did this come about?
You know, it's been there's been a lot of requests over the last few years.
Lui è invecchiato, Tony, però la sua voce ha ancora 18 anni. Come la mia.
And I was talking to Activision about some other stuff, about some charity events, and
Tony ha 27
the
anni.
idea was just like, why don't we remaster this? And when it came from them, I said, you don't understand how many people have asked me that. And I try to explain to them that
Tu vai sullo skate Letal? Certo.
And they said, yeah, let's get on it. And they immediately tapped Vicarious Visions, and off we went. And I mean, honestly, the end
Faccio più 1080 che cambi di mutande in un giorno.
I was so excited that it was, you know, like what VV always does.
Che cacchio vuol dire?
Li
sa ancora fare i trick Tony e si spacca le... Credo che li faccia ancora. Penso che finché può li continuerà a fare.
Jen, this is, you know, again, VV has done a lot of great things over the history of the company, but now it's like you guys are known for really these, you know, amazing kind of, you know, remasters of beloved franchises. This is, you know, a very different game than Crash. Can you tell us a bit about how you approach this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, we're fans too. VV has been involved with working on Tony Hawk games for years, starting with the Nintendo
È
handheld.
EA che ha un gioco di skateboard in work in progress.
We had a number of people that came over from Neversoft. Myself, I produced 3 of the games. So you start with that fandom, good things will happen. And so, in approaching
Si
this,
chiama Skate
the
quello
number one thing
di...
for us was to
Sì,
get it to feel right.
ok.
It's got to be a high quality game that feels like you remember it. So, we started with the Neversoft engine, looking at the Neversoft code base for the handling, brought that over, also looked at the level layouts and bringing over the geometry as a starting point. And then you upgrade everything from there, from the animations to the high res graphics, to those quality of life improvements that modern gamers expect. So it's a complete package for the fans who are just really aching for the nostalgia of these original games.
Yeah, and this is so many years later, as Tony said, like 20 plus
Com'è che...
years.
Sì, appunto, com'è che
The
Geo
nature
fa
of how you control and play the game has changed so much.
un
'cause,
microfono così
remember,
figo?
Tony,
Vabbè,
the old game
loro sono in
was like,
chiamata.
analog sticks weren't even a thing. So it's like, I imagine that was a lot of what you had to think about, is like, how can you play this with, new, more sophisticated controllers that give you so much more granularity when you're playing.
Yeah, well, we've had experience with doing this before,
Yeah.
but certainly, if you're an old school player, your thumb's going to drift to that D-pad, and you're going to want to do your tricks that way.
That's
you
me.
can certainly do that if you want to do that. But
That's
newer
me.
players are used to playing on the analog sticks, and quite frankly, analog is not as precise. So we had to spend a good amount of time iterating and thinking about, okay, how do we make it so it's just forgiving enough? It understands what you're trying to do, but you still have the challenge.
Comunque il microfono della tipa non è così male.
I'm all about the D-pad though.
I'm sure.
Tony, discutibile.
Going through, different controllers. Even I remember when we revealed the board together one year when you did that. I mean, you've been sort of through everything. When you stepped into this to work with VV, can you maybe talk a bit about the collaboration and kind of how you were giving feedback and sort of where you wanted.
Neanche
to
Tony è
take the game?
interessato,
Is it
guardalo.
still
Quella è la
being
faccia di
rooted
Tony.
in the history of it, but obviously update it to today's standards or quality of life, as Jen said.
Tony è lì impalato.
Yeah, I would say the basis of it was the feel. Does it feel like it responds the way that the original games did? And that's something that we've been kind of missing through, the various versions and attempts at bringing this back. And so when they finally got the feel, and it didn't take them very long,
Tony ha dei geni in comune con...
and it's
come si chiama?
They're fans of the game. So when I
Non mi
started
viene.
playing it felt like the same response. It felt like the tricks they worked the same, yet the visuals were just way over the top. I mean, they're exponentially better, obviously through the systems, but they're even better because they've spent the time to get these levels and to get these maps looking like photorealistic.
Can you guys maybe talk about the, obviously online is a big part of it, but sort of like what is new or different about this game that you've added to sort of the, the core architecture of the, the original two?
Well, of course, online gaming is naturally an expectation.
Quanto costerà una sola delle tavole dietro a Tony?
We've got all of your favorite
Io lo
modes
so.
from multiplayer that are now online. But it's interesting because I think actually split screen's still kind of an
Penso che le può collegare e volare
we're
sopra
bringing
la
that
città
back.
di
All of
notte.
your favorite modes again. You can play on the couch with your friends and hopefully one day invite them over. Hopefully soon.
Quindi è solo questo? Sì,
as
è
far
solo
as
questo.
other things that you can play online, we also have create a perk that has been improved.
Almeno è gameplay questo.
Post your levels online, have your friends play them. You can share them online, let them take over and customize them even further. So it's a pretty robust offering of things you can do with your friends out there.
Are you gonna have sort of any new tricks or secrets or anything, Tony, like that you wanted to kind of put into these classic levels? I mean, people don't necessarily want them touched, but also I think there's probably some fun. I mean, is there anything kind of new?
Quanto
that
dura
you
questo
said, hey,
direct?
I wanna
Questo
switch
non è
this
un
out, or
direct.
something that's bugged you from 20 years ago that you're like, let's change that out.
There are some polished moves, but I was trying to stay as true as we could to the original. So besides the visuals and obviously the responsiveness, we stayed pretty true to the tricks and the maps. And so, I didn't want to mess with that too much. I feel like I feel like people are going to be so excited to play exactly as they remember it, but in this new visual field,
Yep.
that's where we want to land.
Yeah, no, and you go ahead, yeah.
I was going to say, I think what's maybe fresh to these two titles is that you'll have a full suite of tricks to play with from even the latter THPS series. Because when we talk to fans and we ask
Gestire
them,
in
what do you
diretta è una
remember
tortura.
about these games,
È
and it's
quello che
really
bisogna
being
aspettarsi
a
quest'anno.
skateboarding superhero, doing those crazy
Boh, a me interessa
slides.
quello che
So we
dicono.
needed tricks like revert, which came in later, so that you
Finché
could
non
cheat
dura,
those
sai,
tricks.
un'ora.
So we added those back into the mix. So I'm really looking forward to seeing people, skate in the warehouse but do some super crazy high combos.
It's funny, I get corrected all the time because when I talk about the series, and I say, oh, when we introduced the revert in THPS 2, which was not in THPS 2, but it's like I don't want to remember a time before we had the revert. So I did insist on adding that to this version, even though I think it came in 3.
It came in 3. That's right. I think what happens is you start playing and your finger just keeps going for that trigger. So you just, again, that muscle memory kicks in and you just want to do the tricks you're familiar with. And so I was doing it. I kept seeing other people doing it. So it made sense that, okay, this is what people naturally are going to want to have.
Right. But I think that it's going to be the same thing. There's sort of this blurry memory of, well, I know this trick. Well, that was in 4. So
right.
we did include some of those just because people were expect them and they won't remember the timeline of the series like that.
Oh, for sure. You said, I think it all, I mean, 3 was so classic. You said, like, everyone just remembers it sort of like, the classic, pro skater stuff. I know around the game, you are doing some work with, like, create a park, create a skater, and can you maybe talk about that, Janice, or, how you're surrounding that and building that out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stanno allungando il brodo.
So create a skater is awesome.
Almeno, sai, non è come quando c'era il tizio di Ubisoft che parlava di Assassin's Creed, perché lì stava ripetendo roba che era accessibile a chiunque. Questo almeno è qualcosa che non si sapeva che esisteva.
This feature. I told you a bit about how you can share online, etc., but there are a ton of pieces and parts that you can customize your park with. The new news is that you'll be able to modify many of the pieces, and so modify them. If you want to take a rail, twist it around, turn it into basically like a roller coaster, you can do that. If you want to create some crazy massive mega ramp that goes all the way up into the sky, you absolutely can do that too. So I'm really super stoked to see what our players create with this. They're going to be able to share it online, like I said, and share it with their friends. I can imagine one of the things that I look forward to, because you can tag your parks with descriptors, is people being able to go to their local skate park and essentially build it.
Farci una live intera mi sembra esagerato. Boh, per adesso è durato 12 minuti. Se dura 20 minuti è appropriata come durata. Se ne dura 50 senza gameplay, troppo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
oh god, c'è gameplay ora.
Too, with all the creative part was that we wanted to share it online, and it didn't come of age yet. So now is the time for sure.
Having done this, Tony, does this make you feel like, hey, you want to get into keep doing these again?
Letal hai un gruppo Discord. Sono in un gruppo Discord, ma non ho un gruppo Discord. C'è il comando Discord di Nightbot.
Yeah, and there is a strong nostalgia and attachment to the original, at least 4. THPS.
Drag, smetti di fare finta.
I mean, 1 and 2 is the jumping off point. I would love to be able to do more down the line. I think that we, especially with VV, like we can make this stuff look spectacular.
Non sono sicuro che sta facendo finta.
So we've come a long way with the technology, and I think that these guys truly are the best ones. Like they're the most qualified.
Domanda era secca.
So every
Come
time
on,
I get a
Drago.
new version, I can't believe how much better it looks. I mean, that's the truth.
No, VV, you've done such a great job, Jen. I think that's the thing that with games, it's it's sometimes sad because we don't have that
L'ho notato anch'io, Randork, ma credo che sia...
all these games that I grew up playing.
erano così gli originali, quindi l'hanno lasciato così.
PC, sometimes you can find old versions of games, but old, as you said, like PS1 games, PS2 games, it's like you can't just pop them in. So the fact that they're they're coming back, but also going forward in time, and with the fidelity that you guys are able to build around it, and the controls, and even with Crash, where you were trying to figure out like how does the jump translate, and how do you move, it's all the
Come si muove Geoff? Tipo danza sulla sedia con le spalle.
Right on these new controllers, I think is yeah, I'm sure you guys have nailed it. Unfortunately, since we're all in quarantine, we can't sit there and play it, but I trust you guys are gonna deliver it, and I'm so excited that it's back.
Questo quanto avrà su Metacritic?
Thanks
83.
We virtually bring together the gaming world, but I'm sure everyone will be excited that it's coming out soon, right? I think it's going to be early fall.
That's right. We're coming out September 4th, and if you pre-order today, you can, well, if you pre-order in general...
Si pronuncia sul serio Geoff o è Jeff, come credo sia giusto pronunciarlo? Geoff, credo sia Geoff. Non è Jeff, è Geoff. Io dico Geoff a volte, ma boh.
Exactly.
No, I get that's the thing is that part of this thing with this whole
Perché è come è Geoffrey, solo accorciato, quindi Geoff.
Go to events like E3 and stuff like that this year to play stuff. So the fact that you're going to have the warehouse people be able to play later this summer is awesome to hear. So all right, well, Tony, Jen, thanks for joining me. Great to have THPS back and coming this fall. So we'll look forward to seeing more later this year.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice. Quarto d'ora, dai. Play the future. Sta musica tamarra però non ci sta tanto col Summer Game Fest.
So let's talk about our next console. That's what I'm talking about.
Vedete, il fatto che non c'è Nintendo fra questi vuol dire che fino a luglio-agosto non aspettatevi. Vabbè, non è vero. Magari fanno una roba tutta loro, però Next up, one of the most important event. Domani c'è uno degli eventi più importanti ed è alle 17, giusto? Domani alle 17. Se ho fatto bene i calcoli. 8 AM PT.
Sta facendo molti acquisti dal divano di casa.
What?
Di conto internet.
No. Hey. Hey.
Codice QR.
Whoa. Stop. No, questo non era il mio sponsor. Cosa c'è domani di importante? Non si sa, anche domani è un po' un punto di domanda. Però se dice è uno degli eventi più importanti di tutto il Summer Game Fest. Di tutta l'estate. Quindi va guardato. Non so cosa sarà, ma è roba PlayStation? Forse è roba PlayStation. Può darsi. Cosa volevo... Boh, non c'è niente da discutere. Chiedo di nuovo, c'è qualcuno di voi... Non è una domanda sarcastica. C'è qualcuno di voi che è hypato per l'annuncio? Di domani? No, per oggi. Per Tony Hawk 1+2 Collection. Perché a me piace sentire la gente positiva di solito. Cioè, il modo in cui posso apprezzare un annuncio a cui non sono interessato è vedere qualcuno che è interessato ed è entusiasta. Andrò a fare un giro sul Reddit di Tony Hawk, se esiste dopo. Per dare un'occhiata, ma... Vabbè. Buona serata, grazie di essere venuti. A domani alle 17 per roba grossa, a quanto pare, roba importante. Potrebbe essere anche solo un'intervista, non aspettatevi annunci. Bye bye, buona serata. Oh, giusto, un paio di cose. È così che si chiude. Se vi va potete supportarmi su Patreon. Grazie mille ai Patreon. Fan e super fan che vedete su schermo. E naturalmente Apology, che è un gran figo, probabilmente, sicuramente più figo di questo annuncio. Grazie mille.